After missing the previous game due to exhaustion, Steph and Curry returned to the court for the Golden State Warriors as they faced off against the Toronto Raptors. With under 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter, the Warriors trailed by a single point when Curry delivered a dazzling move, finishing at the rim and drawing a foul. The reigning sharpshooter converted the N1 opportunity, putting Golden State ahead by 2. However, the momentum would shift later in the quarter. With the Warriors down by 5, Curry drove to the basket, absorbed contact, and took a brutal fall, landing hard on his lower back. The immediate concern was evident. As he walked off the court under his own power, the Warriors' medical staff ruled it a pelvic contusion, sidelining him for the remainder of the game. In 25 minutes of action, Curry had tallied 17 points before his night was cut short. Without their superstar, the Warriors needed contributions from across the roster, and they delivered. Buddy Hield knocked down a crucial three-pointer, finishing with 8 points as Golden State clung to a 1-point advantage with just over 6 minutes left in the fourth. Moments later, Moses Moody missed a shot, but Kevin Looney was there to clean it up, tipping in the putback to put the Warriors back in front. Then Brandon Podziemski stepped up, scoring key baskets en route to a 15-point performance, extending the lead to 3 with just over 4 minutes to play. Jonathan Kuminga followed suit, adding 16 points, including a clutch bucket that pushed the advantage to 5 as the clock wound down. The Raptors, however, refused to go quietly. Down by 3 in the final 30 seconds, they turned to Jamal Shead, but Jimmy Butler came up with a massive block, showcasing his two-way prowess and sealing the Warriors' victory. Butler's stat line was nothing short of dominant. 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists, a triple-double that underscored his growing influence on the team. After the game, Warriors head coach Steve Kerr provided an update on Curry, stating that the star guard was undergoing an MRI and emphasizing that the team opted not to risk further injury. He thought he might be able to come back, but we decided to play it safe. Hopefully it's nothing serious, Kerr said. Golden State's depth proved invaluable on a night when they were without their leader. It was the second time in the last 30 seasons that 6 Warriors players scored at least 15 points in a single game, a testament to the team's balanced attack. More importantly, the Warriors have now posted an impressive 7-3 record this season in games where Curry has been absent, demonstrating their ability to stay competitive even without their franchise cornerstone. Beyond the individual performances, the Warriors' recent resurgence can be attributed to the arrival of Jimmy Butler. Since acquiring Butler, Golden State has improved significantly in their assist-to-turnover ratio, ranking second in the league. His presence has brought stability and a much-needed edge to a team that had been searching for answers. The impact of the Butler trade was immediate, reigniting Curry's confidence. When the trade happened, I think he and Draymond looked at each other and said, "We got one of us. We got another guy who knows what it takes to win at the highest level," an analyst noted post-game. The analogy was clear. Before Butler's arrival, Curry had been pressing, trying to do too much. Now, with a legitimate co-star by his side, he's found his rhythm again. It's reminiscent of past super teams that reshaped the league. Just as Danny Ainge's acquisitions of Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett transformed the Boston Celtics into title contenders, the Warriors' move for Butler has revitalized their championship aspirations. Suddenly, Curry isn't alone. He has a battle-tested teammate who not only thrives in high-stakes moments, but also relieves him of the burden he's shouldered for years. Butler's impact goes beyond statistics. His intensity, defensive prowess, and ability to get to the free throw line have given Golden State a new dimension. His commitment, signing an extension upon arrival, signals a belief in the Warriors' culture and their potential to compete at the highest level. As the Western Conference playoff picture takes shape, the landscape remains unpredictable. Oklahoma City is emerging but still improving. Dallas is dealing with injuries. Houston and Memphis are young and inconsistent. The Lakers, with LeBron James and Luka Doncic under J.J. Redick's guidance, are finding their stride. Meanwhile, Minnesota is adjusting to life without Karl-Anthony Towns. The door is wide open. The question now is whether Golden State can make a legitimate run. If they secure the 6th seed, a first-round matchup against the Denver Nuggets looms large. Would they be favored? Likely not. If they face the Lakers, would they be underdogs? Absolutely. But dismissing them outright would be a mistake. Critics argue that even if the Warriors make the playoffs, an early exit is inevitable. However, considering where they started and where they are now, falling the first round wouldn't be a failure. It would be a stepping stone toward refining the roster in the offseason. Yet, the Warriors aren't thinking about moral victories. They've seen what Butler brings to the table, and with a healthy Curry, they believe they can go toe-to-toe with anyone. Golden State's pedigree cannot be ignored. With Curry, Butler, and Draymond Green leading the way, the Warriors have the experience, coaching, and talent to disrupt the playoff hierarchy. Steve Kerr deserves credit for seamlessly integrating Butler into the system, while ownership's willingness to make a bold move is paying dividends. Even in the face of skepticism, one truth remains. When you have Stephen Curry, you always have a chance. His impact goes beyond just scoring. His gravitational pull alone creates opportunities for teammates. He bends defenses unlike anyone else in NBA history, forcing constant adjustments and unlocking space for others. The debate over his legacy rages on. Is he the greatest point guard of all time? Some argue that Magic Johnson still holds that title, given his 5 championships and unparalleled ability to orchestrate an offense. But Curry's case is compelling. He revolutionized the game, extending shooting range beyond imagination, inspiring an entire generation to reimagine what's possible on a basketball court. His combination of skill, leadership, and longevity makes him a unique force in NBA history. For now, the focus remains on the present. The Warriors, once left for dead, have found new life. The addition of Butler has reignited their championship ambitions. And with Curry expected to return soon, they are a team that no contender wants to face. The road ahead won't be easy, but with their championship DNA and a renewed sense of purpose, Golden State is once again a dangerous threat in the West.